So I really enjoyed making our awesome hand-waving automaton, but as awesome as it is, it's time to move on. So we are gonna dismantle this guy and start a new project today. We will pop free the automaton part. I'm going to reclaim my Spark Fun kit to use on the next thing and start a new project. So today I'm going to start a box project. So mostly because in raiding my recycling bin, I found this awesome box. My son got a new pair, I think this was a pair of Keens. Maybe they were, I don't know. Somebody in my house got a new pair of Keens, which are excellent shoes. And so I have this really great box to work with. So I'm gonna do some form of useless box. Now, as far as I'm concerned, a useless box is just one that undoes whatever you do or seems to do something useful, but in fact doesn't. Or kind of the classic example is you flip a switch and the box does something to flip the switch back the other way. There's a whole playlist of cool useless boxes on Canvas, linked on Canvas, and actually also on this YouTube channel if you just want to go take a look. So I decided to be inspired by one of the not as traditional ones to kind of model off of instead. So I'm gonna just let you see real quick which one I'm talking about. Doing a YouTube video of a YouTube video would just be weird, so I'm not going to hit play. This is one of the ones in that playlist. And basically what happens is the box starts out open, and when you approach it, it closes. So I'm going to consider this my Max trap. My son's name is Max. And so this will be a Max trap. I'll be able to put something he wants inside, and when he comes to the box, it will snap closed. Should be hilarious. Okay, so I have this great box. So the idea is that it will be open like this, and you'll be able to see a little bit what's inside, and you'll want it. And so you'll come forward, and when you come forward, it goes no, like that. Open, no, open, no. So it's going to need a few things, right? It's going to need somewhere for a sensor to be, and some sort of sensor. I kind of think we're going to end up using the ultrasonic sensor again. I hate to repeat like that, but I think it's probably the most appropriate one that we've got in the kit that you all have access to. If you have a different sensor that you want to use, go for it. PIR sensor would be really fun here, a motion sensor, or maybe a light sensor. Like when the shadow falls over the box, it snaps closed. That could be fun. But I think the only one that's kind of in the basic kit that I gave everyone is the ultrasonic sensor. So I think that's the one we're going to go with. Yeah. All right, so that's one thing it's going to need. It's also going to need a way to open and close the lid. So I can think of a couple of different ways to do this. We could use a motor and have it like crank up based on maybe like a string going down, and when it cranks it up, it opens. And when it lets it go, maybe the weight would pull it closed, or maybe we would have the motor run the other direction. That would be an option. I'm gonna try first though to make it work with a servo. The servo in your kit looks like, first you have to find it before you can use it. Little trick. Okay. Looks like this. Comes in a little bag. Okay, so here is your servo. It has a place on the end where we're going to plug in 3 wires, and we'll look at how to wire that up next time. It also has in the bag a couple of little like things to attach to the top. Spread these out so you can see them a little better. Okay. So it has these things to attach to the top. It's got a circle, it's got a little one directional kind of foot, a four-way almost propeller looking shape, and then a kind of longer one. It's like half a propeller, right? Or a propeller, but not a, yeah, you get the idea. Straight line that goes all the way across. And so any of those can get attached to the top of the servo right here. And there's a little screw or a couple different screws in there, little screws to help screw it in to the top of the servo. So I think this is what I'm gonna try and make work. And this is very similar to what they did in the YouTube video that I'm being inspired by. So somewhere in here, I'm gonna put like a block, and then this servo will go in. Let's try that again. Okay, so I'm gonna have like a little block sticking out, and then I'm gonna have a servo mounted in here somewhere that when it is wanting to be open, the servo arm will push up on that block. And when we want it to be closed, it will stop pushing up on that block, and so it will close. That's what we're gonna attempt. Now, this is a pretty big box and a pretty little servo, which is probably the thing I'm most concerned about. So if this all goes terribly wrong, I might make myself a smaller box to work with. But I think I'm gonna start with getting out some of those tops and seeing how they look, how big they look. Now I could probably figure out how to attach something else to the top. Maybe a popsicle stick or a chopstick, give it a little more leverage. So I'm gonna keep in mind that that might be helpful. So I think the long stick is probably gonna be my best bet. And it just kind of pushes on the top like that. Oh, it's a little crooked. Okay, pushes on the top like that, and then the screw will go right in the center just to help keep it nice and tight. So servos, you might remember, don't go around and around forever like motors do, right? This is all the way one direction, and that's all the way the other direction. So they only go really 180 degrees, right? So I think kind of what I want is when it's all the way up like this, that will be pushing up on whatever block I've got. And then when it goes down like that, it will stick. I mean, it'll have maybe more like that. Up, down, and then up. It's a very slight difference. It's going to have to be way at the back of the box in order for the lid to really show a difference here. So all the way up like that. I think I'm probably going to need some sort of stick to extend this. Okay, but the other thing I'm definitely going to need is some sort of prop or something that goes back here that my servo can push up against. So I grabbed cardboard from the recycling bin. In this case, we have excellent thin spaghetti. This was for dinner last night, so I knew it would be there. So I think if I just kind of cut a piece of it off to attach to the underside, that'll be like the box that I can push up against. Scissors. No idea what's going to be the right size. I'll just have to kind of pick something to get started. The nice part about building with cardboard is that I'm not going to feel too bad if this does not work out this time, because I will just, you know, we'll have pasta for dinner again this weekend, and I'll try again. or just use a little bit more of the box. So I've cut off kind of the end and I kept the already closed end since I know I'm gonna want that. And now I'm gonna cut slits up the side. There's definitely more than one way to attach a little box piece like this to a flat surface, but I think I'm gonna try, so I cut little slits up each side, and now I'm gonna fold the flaps out like so. Hard to build in front of a camera. Fold the flaps out like so. So that when I put this on the surface, I have like a nice surface to tape to. You could attach it like this too, fold all those flaps in, but it's a lot harder to like get the tape in the seam and get it to stick really well. Whereas while this is not as attractive maybe, there is a lot more surface area for you to attach tape to, which makes your job a little easier. So positioning, I don't know. I think I'm gonna envision here. So this is gonna be like when it's closed and then when it's open. I think maybe what's gonna happen is I'm actually gonna want this like mounted in there, and then the servo is maybe gonna push on the inside. Just from looking at it, but it seems like probably what's gonna happen. Okay, all right. So which way to attach it, like this or like this? As far as I know, there's no manuals on exactly how to build something like this, or if this is, I did not find one. I think I'm gonna go with this. And I'll do it about there. So it's not all the way in the center. It's kind of near the edge, but it will leave me maybe hopefully some workspace on how to like get the servo inside. If I put it all the way up against the edge, it might be really hard to like get my hands in there to work with. So I'm gonna stick with out here and find some tape. Okay. Okay, so now here I have two options. I've done the 3 pieces that stick to the top of the roof, and so now I have to decide what I'm going to do about this flap underneath. I think that it's going to try and move when I open and close. Like this is bending a little bit. So I think I'm not going to tape that in place. Because I think it will actually, I think it will actually make it harder for it to open or close. So at least for now, I'm just gonna leave that part totally unattached. Don't really know if that's the right call, but we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll end up cutting it off. Okay. Now I have box and open box, closed box, open box. So when it's open, I want this in there to be like pushing up on it like that. And then when it's closed, twisted the wrong way for this envisioning part of mine. Okay, so it's up it's open. And then as it goes down, it closes. Okay, so I think that's right, which means that I'm gonna want this guy to somehow attach in here. Ooh, let's see if the camera, okay, so underneath, like the box part, right? But if it's too close, then the end pieces are gonna hit the back wall. So I need it to be out a little bit, but not a lot. Or maybe that's not true, hold on. Okay, so I thought maybe the double would be smart, but maybe the single would be better. Okay, single foot in piece. So maybe if I have the single instead of the double, okay, so there's the two different ones. So the double, I was worried that as it went down, this kind of back leg would hit the wall, and that would be a problem. And so maybe if I have the single and the back wall is here, right? And so now my box is here. Anything to be a pretend box? Ah, another box. Okay, so, so like so. And then when this goes down, it will close. It might work. I kind of almost need it to be positioned just right so that this is under the box, but none of the rest of the servo body is. That'll let it kind of be as tight as possible. So when it's all the way up, it's like that. And when it's down, it can be tighter and not worry about overlapping with the servo. Ooh, that's gonna be tricky. Okay, let's envision again. Box. I need to mount my servo as tight as possible right there so that when the leg is up, the box is open, and when the leg is down, the box is closed. So let's see how closed it can get. This is the problem with arms, right? They get in the way. How am I supposed to envision this correctly? Now, I could probably, I know. So the problem is it's really hard to see what's going on inside the box when the box is closed, right? I don't want to cut like a hole in it because that'll be really obvious later. But if I disassemble one side of the box, oh yeah, this is awesome. Okay. Viewport. Sweet. Okay. So now, if I get this in here, when it's all the way up, it will hold, woo, right, better viewport for you than me actually. So I want it to hold up, and then as it kind of turns down, collapse down. Okay, so I'm gonna try and mount this, and we're just gonna see if it's in the right place. I don't know. How am I gonna do that? I don't really feel like Scotch tape alone, just on the body of this thing, is gonna do a very good job. Need some sort of holder or something. Cardboard to the rescue. Maybe if I, no, because, okay, so I want to get it to mount flat against something, right? So how am I going to do that? Maybe it needs like a strap that goes on. It could be good. All right, I'm gonna cut like a little strip of this and we'll see if it turns into anything useful. If nothing else, this sort of live building should demonstrate to you that teachers do not have all the answers, like you ever thought we did. And that whatever your good idea is, it's a good idea. Or your next one will be a good idea. Okay, so I have a little strip of cardboard. Whoop, used to be a box. So can I like, I think I'm gonna try and make a nice tight little like seat belt for it, like that. Just because Scotch tape and plastic one to the other, it's just, I'm not really feeling like that's gonna do a good job holding still, but maybe now I have a little like cardboard wrap for it. We'll give it a try. So I'm gonna cut off hopefully enough to be useful. I'm going to carefully not cut the wires of my servo while I'm at it. All right, so now hopefully I have a little servo seat belt. Right. So when I want to attach this flat to something, I can tape these tabs in place. And so this guy will be able to go all the way up to all the way, oops, my jacket's on the wrong way. Okay, like that. So we'll be able to go, this is the wall I'm gonna attach it to, all the way up to all the way down. Okay, I'm gonna give it a try. So jacket attachment tab number 1 with some tape. Seatbelt attachment number 2 with some tape. Actually, maybe I'm not ready for tape on that one. I'm gonna try and get the first one really nice and tight and then kind of squish it into place. And then I'll come in with tape for the other one. All right, I'm gonna see if we can get it in place. So I wanna be like next to the, but not like right on it. Drop it. That's what seatbelts are for. Okay. See where I can find it. Like, I'm gonna get my servo back in its little belt thingy. I have often thought that I would be a better crafter and maker if I was an octopus. I don't know how you're supposed to do all this with only 2 hands. Okay. Do this part off camera. Sorry. Use a chair to brace one side and my leg, and that's still not great. Turning the whole thing around, see if that does any better. Okay. Ugh. Okay. I think it's in. Right there. See it in its little jackety thing? Oh, that it feels tight. It might be an overstatement, but It doesn't feel like it's immediately gonna fall apart, so that's good. Let's see whether I got it in the right place. Okay, so when all the way up, it should hold the box open. Well, that did not work out. Let's see if we can tell why. It's pretty dark in there. Oh, I just totally missed. That's what happened. Should be like a whole inch higher up. Okay, well, glory of tape. Let's try that again. All right, so I think the seatbelt thingy kind of worked. Wasn't too bad, but I'm going to get new tape because I personally have found that once you peel Scotch tape or any clear tape, whatever, off of paper, it is less impressive sticking the next time. So I'm gonna get some new tape. Maybe I'll try skinnier tape. Oops. Okay. There's the top piece. Top piece has tape. So I'm gonna try and get this higher up than the last one. You know what else I need to do? This the wing piece. That fourth box lid is totally getting in my way. It is not making me happy. I can't like work near it, so I'm gonna try and cut it off. Okay, no more wing. All right, we're gonna try this servo seatbelt situation again. Okay, servo. Seatbelt. Make sure that it's facing the right way. That looks good. Okay, here we go. And for the bottom. Sorry, I can't figure out how to do this part on camera. Okay. Servo. Let's see if we did any better. It's touching. Maybe it's just not strong enough. Yeah, see when I let it go, it's popping the bottom of my little servo seatbelt off. Not being a very good seatbelt. I'm gonna see if additional tape or something will help. Whew. Okay, we added more tape, one on the back and another one on the bottom. Let's see. Oh, it kind of holds. Not very open, it's a little open. Not less open, that's not great. And when it's pointing more down, less open. It's all the way down. The same amount of open. Well, that's not ideal. So it's just hitting the servo. Darn it! Scooch over. But not a lot over, just a tiny bit over. Okay, lessons learned. I think I like the servo idea still, but I definitely need to find a way to make that branch, the top part, longer. I'm gonna pull this out. This part, I want this to be longer. So what would happen if it was longer? If it was longer, I could mount it. One, maybe I want it to be longer this way and this way, right? So something mounted out here like this. So if I did that, I would have a bigger range that it could operate on. Right now, this is a very tiny difference, and I'll get some leverage. I'm still gonna have to come up with a way to really securely attach this to the box, but I think having a longer stick is gonna give me a little more power to work with. You've already been watching for half an hour. I've made very little progress, but you should feel good about that, right? Because maybe your project is going better than mine. And I'll keep working on it next week. So I'm gonna brainstorm on how to make a longer something. It probably won't be cardboard. I might go out and find a stick or a popsicle stick. Toothpicks? I don't know, I'm gonna think about it. You can think about it too. If you have a genius idea for me, you can email it to me and maybe I'll try your idea. Okay, so that's gonna be my next plan and we'll see how it comes out next week. All right, I hope you guys have a good one. Bye.